So this is the birth of a big Johnston blackfish. There's a nice heavy flat wax thread. I like to put a nice cushion down. So the hair's not going right onto the lead. I like to put a nice cushion. I like to use a nice heavy over 200 denier thread. Again, we're talking about saltwater fishing here, so you don't want anything too light. Plus you can get a nice tight wrap if you're using a heavy thread like a 200 or a 240 or a 260 denier thread. Flat waxed, it lays nice and flat, and it also will build almost like building bricks. So I don't just tie all the hair out at once. I'll show you. With all my dark colored bucktails, I always like to give a white belly, a little something that little shows off. You see a lot of white on the regular fish that I'm imitating. So I like to put some down. I'll spread it out, and I'll get a nice couple wraps on it. I'm not going too tight again. Again, you didn't see me put all the hair on at once. So again, I put some hair down as my first. I like the nice extra long bucktails, and they'll give you a really long profile which looks insane in the water. I'm going to put some more white down. So I'm starting to build it. You see I build one end, now I put more hair, and so everything is layered. So when you finally do put down your head cement or whatever you're going to use, or any epoxy, it's really going to hold tight. I use a lot of hair because I like using hair. A lot of hair because it will slow the descent into the strike zone and give you longer time for the fish to hit it. A lot of commercial bucktails don't have a lot of hair. I'll spread it out a little bit. Again, I'm just doing the bottom now. I'm going to build up my base colors on top, which will be black and purple. Okay? Again, I'm using extra long bucktails that I get from out west, and just give you a really great profile. The last of the white. Again, you see that I'm building. I'm not just putting all the hair on at once. I'm building. And when you build it up, it's going to last longer. And if you have a toothy game fish like a bluefish or a barracuda if you're down south, it's not going to rip it apart and just rip all the hair off at once. It'll take some hair off, but it's going to build a stronger and a better jig. I'm going to flip it over now. I'm going to do my two solid colors here. Again, I'm building the big Johnston blackfish, so we're going to use black and purple. You see, I make all my own vices and everything. I guess it's just me needing something that's going to hold a heavy hook. And this is my portable one, and I can keep it in the car if I need to retie or tie teasers or retie tail hooks. Being in Long Island, New York, and with certain colors being better, I can always just rip it out, always have heads with me, and always have hair with me. And I take some purple, which I dyed myself. I dye all my colors so I get the right colors that I want. And again, I build. I just build a little bit, spread it out, as you can see, I built it, and now I'm going to take some more purple and I'm going to build it up again. I like doing this because it just builds a real strong jig, and when it's all together and you get a nice tight wrap on it, there's no way these hairs are coming out. Okay, I'm going to show you. I'm going to do the same exact thing on the other side. I just want to get a really nice layering of hair. And once you get the nice layering hair, it looks beautiful and it's really strong. So again, I'm going to take some purple, which I cut off. I'm going to put a couple wraps on, as you can see. And I'll feather it down a little bit to cover the white. Get a couple more wraps on it. some more hair. Again, these are nice big tails I get. They're selected for me to my specifications. Again, you see I built it. It's not just one jump of hair. It's built into stages. So now you got a pretty good looking bucktail here. Now I'd like to add the black on top. Again, I like to layer it, so I take some shorter black on the bottom. I give it a couple wraps. And what's nice with a really heavy thread like this is that you really can get a tight wrap at the end. And that's really important. So you have have a bucktail that the hair is not going to fall out of. Take some more black. A lot of guys you'll see will glue, but the mixture I use that I found that's made for me, and it's mixed, it's a 1 part. It's used for other things, not for fly tying or jigs, but it's a really good coat. And now, since I got the whole bucktail together, I'll take a look at it and I see if I have enough black on it, see if I like the hairs. Maybe I think it's going to need just a little more black on top. But that's great when you're doing it yourself, because you can tell yourself or look at it and say, it's not enough hair. Again, I use a lot of hair because it will slow down the rate of descent and keep it in the strike zone longer. So you can use a heavier head and still have it the action of a lighter bucktail jig because of the hair there. And sometimes that's really important, and it helps me with my success as a bucktail fisherman, not just a bucktail producer. I just don't make them, I use them. I fish my bucktails all the time. Now you can see I'll get a real tight wrap on this. A lot of guys say, just glue it, you don't need a tight wrap. That's not how I do things. I excess. That's why I use a nice, heavy thread. But if you use a nice, heavy thread, you're never going to have problems. And then when you get your solution to it, it's going to be beautiful. I use it. You can see I use a nice, heavy, long bobbin, and because I have big hands, and I can get a better grip on them, and they still hang like a regular fly jig. And I like to get a nice, real hefty tie on these. It takes practice. You're going to fumble. It's a great winter project. I'm going to knot it now. Everybody knots them different. I go under a couple times. I do the mic knot, I call it. I get a nice tight knot on here. And then I'll clip it. I'll take my acrylic solution and I'll give it a really nice heavy coat of it. As you can see, I get a real nice heavy coat because what it does, it penetrates and it goes right down through the hairs. Okay, this is a thinner solution. There's thicker ones, but this really works well and I really don't have problems with it. So this is the one I like to use. And that's it. That's how to tie a bucktail jig. I mean, once you're done, they come out really nice. And you get to control them. They look really good. You can put a lot of hair on a smaller jig, like I did this one before. And then, the outcome is beautiful. So again, that's how to tie my Big Johnston Blackfish. Extra heavy duty hooks, lots of hair, just a great jig for the Northeast.